Had some snow over the weekend. It's icy on the road leading over towards Keno from Ashland here along Highway 66. There's a pheasant crossing the road there. Trail register right along the beginning of the trail, 4 miles ahead. So this here is the entrance to Fern Cave. In the summertime they actually do tours of this cave. You can really only just go around the skylight area, but there's a lot of old pictographs from the Modoc Indians carved or painted hundreds of years ago. And so they have this gated, and I think they place this ladder down and you can view it go down because it is a little bit of a drop off. As you can see, the whole entrance area here is adorned with ferns. That's why it's called Fern Cave. And you could actually feel quite a temperature difference. There's all this snow and cold air, winter air with all the sagebrush, and yet there's a little microclimate here to where we have coastal ferns that are thriving here all year, it looks like. And you could see moss and all that. And I believe that there's actually little toads or frogs that live within here as well. Here you can see the interior of the cave a little bit. There's a bit of moss on the rocks, makes it nice and green. So I'm here at the entrance to the cave. There is a sign, and it's actually got quite a number of signatures. Seems like the last one though was on the 15th of January. There's actually, oh, it goes back to 2012. There's a number of signatures that's the same guy I'm seeing. And this one is, it's called Fossil Cave. And it only has a skylight opening. It's a 45-foot vertical drop. So you need to have technical gear to descend and ascend. And it says Fossil. And this is the only entrance opening. And it is dark. There's a couple of birds in there. Either pigeons or swallows. I think they're pigeons. It sounds more like them. I'm going to lower my camera down so maybe you can see more of the ferns. So I've lowered my camera again. I can't see what I'm looking at from up here. I believe there is a passageway going off somewhere in that direction. But the entrance skylight here, there's a really cool lighting effect from the February sun. And of course there's ferns growing all along the walls and on the floor. This way, I don't think I can raise my camera up too well, but I know that there is a passageway that goes this way as well. My camera is directly underneath me, so I'm just guessing at what I'm aiming at. Yeah, it's a 45-foot vertical drop. The skylight here is no more than maybe 15 feet across. Very narrow and such. Now I'm going to lift my camera out. Last look at the ferns directly below. And the climate changes dramatically. So I'm here at one of the entrances to the Guano Bridge. There's actually an old painting here. I think it was made by J.D. Howard himself, since he did a lot of that. And it says Flat Arch. So I believe this is the entrance to Flat Arch Cave. Long forgotten, but you can see an old railing. There's a sign in by the for any of the caves that are kind of not heavily visited. And then you could tell that the CCC had built a really nice walkway through here. So we're going to check it out. This is a pretty cool cave. The original stairwell is still here, even though the entrance and getting here has been long forgotten. It opens up into a nice wide open cave. Well, the cave actually comes to a dead end here about 500 feet in with this lava seal. You can see all the rubble. But the CCC really made a nice path all the way to the very end here. Here's the entrance to the other cave that's at the Guano Bridge. I came from that entrance right there. This one is much larger. This is actually the Guano Bridge. As you can see, it's a nice underground tunnel, and it opens up to a collapsed pit over there. It's got all this tumbleweed within as well. Other than that, then there's a lot of bird feathers, and as you can tell, it's very sandy. Nobody has really walked through here in a long time. This is the other exit, and it's got some cool little holes right there as well, some skylights, so you could see just how thin it is. Probably no more than a foot or two. Continuing further along this collapsed trench, there's another natural bridge right here. It's a lot smaller, and then I could see a cave opening even further up ahead. Peering into the next cave opening here. There's that way, and then it looks like there's a little tunnel that way with some light. Cool linings against the wall. This doesn't really go anywhere. It's a big breakdown that is all the way up to the ceiling. Now this other way opened up into another side cave here, and it's got some really nice lighting effects. You can see the rays coming in, hitting on the rocks here, and then that's where I came from. There's actually a number of caves out here. I came through these two small holes, and there's a lower entrance to another cave right there. Well, as I was about to go in this cave, there was a barn owl all the way in here that flew straight out. I couldn't capture it in time. Had that very noticeable white face. Kept flying around here, so I'm sure he'll probably return. That's the barn owl right there. I made an old rock wall right up against that. Not sure why. And these are all the pits with the caves in them. The sun is set behind Medicine Lake Volcano. I'm here at Mammoth Cave. I've been here several times before. The cave is just right there. It has a very tiny opening, but it goes in quite a long ways. I still have never reached the full end of it, and it's the only cave where I have truly been lost for about 45 minutes. It's the entrance, only about 2 feet high. It's a very wet and humid cave. That's why you could see all the moss. So it opens up. It's very sandy. You can see all the drip marks from the ceiling have left all these little circular indents. Ceiling here is full of all the cracks with mineralization, and then all the shiny gold that you see is actually this kind of bacteria, which you find also in lava beds as well. It gets dark really fast. Back outside here, it's a bit colder than within the cave. Stars are just about all out. There's still a faint little bit of light coming from the west, but